Can you hear me? All right, good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Archibald, are you with us?
I'm at the courthouse here, Judge. I'm just turning
Oh.
on my video right now, so.
All right.
I don't know why the video is not working, but I'm here.
Are you in the courtroom?
Yes, I am, Judge.
Because I'm getting a little bit of feedback, I think. Are you on
Yeah.
my computer or are you on your phone?
I'm on your computer, but I think Eileen was also turning this on at the bench
Okay.
too.
Because there was some feedback. All right, so all I have, oh, Mr. Hernandez just appeared. All right, so I've got Kathleen Collette in the virtual courtroom. This is 23-CR-92588-B. She's on page 2 of the docket.
Yep.
What-
So Your Honor, as of November 12th, the felony is still pending. Though my understanding is that the alleged victim in this case is hoping everything just kind of gets dropped. So maybe they're just, maybe they're going to no charge it, but at this point, there's still a pending case up there. So we'd probably need maybe another hearing in January or February.
Okay, Kim, you didn't leave me any dates.
Eileen, do you have dates? Oh, okay. I think Eileen will grab those dates. Yeah. February 14th for felony
Okay.
status.
Miss Colette, your next hearing will also be by Zoom. It will be February 14th at 8:30.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you for your appearance this morning. You're free to log off.
Happy holidays. Bye-bye.
Joe Hernandez. Eileen, how many do we have on that 14th already?
There's only 5, including 6 right now with the Xbox.
I'm sorry.
So she said 6, including my current one.
Oh, okay. I knew I felt like I put quite a few the other day, but maybe not. All right, this is 23-CR-92192-B State versus Joe Daniel Hernandez. It's on page 1 of the docket.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, we had been waiting on blood results. We've gotten those blood results, but there is a pending felony associated with this case. And so I've spoken to my client about that. And I believe we're gonna reach out to him and he's probably gonna hire us for that case. But then, so we probably just need another date on this one as well.
The felony is unindicted.
Yeah, it's unindicted right now, Judge.
Okay. All right, then we'll give you that February 14th at 8:30 for status. Mr. Hernandez, your next appearance will be by Zoom as well. It will be on February 14th at 8:30. Please stay in contact with Mr. Archibald's office, and thank you for your appearance this morning. You're free to log off, sir. Okay, Mr. Archibald, I don't see Mr. Scott. He has 2 cases, 22-CR-89638 and 89857.
I'm not sure why he wouldn't be here, Judge, because I did speak with him and he was aware of this. But as far as that case goes, Your Honor, these cases will be dismissed in the long run. In the felony matter, it's been indicted. We are working on getting the restitution amount paid. And then I think the deal is all the cases would be dismissed at that point.
Okay, so how much time are we looking on that happening?
Your Honor, he is going, his next, I think, pre-trial in the felony matter is January 10th. So if we can have one this either after that, maybe that February 10th date, that would work. So
Okay. February 14th at 8:30. He needs to make an appearance this morning or his name will be called.
I will get in touch with him, Judge.
And then Joe Angel Arredondo. He is not with us either. That is 24-CR-93511-B.
I spoke with Mr. Ardondo yesterday, so I don't know why he won't be here. But he does have a pending possession case, which obviously this UCW is the basis of the UCW is that possession case. So we would be, it's not indicted yet either as of, I think, the 4th of November. So we'd be asking for that, maybe that February date again.
Okay, February 14th.
I will get in touch with both of these clients and get them to log on, Judge.
Okay, great. Is that all that you have?
That is
Yes.
all I have, Judge. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Archibald, have a nice weekend.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Cavada. Mr. Cavada, are you with us?
Yes,
All right, I have Stephen Guerin. He's not in my waiting room. He's got, looks like 3 cases, 22-CR-89796, 23-CR-91970-B, and 22-CR-89797, State versus Stephen Guerin.
yes, Your Honor. This is the status. We have a felony trial set in January. I think the docket call is on the 15th and trial on the 18th on the felony charge.
Okay, then we'll set you for an additional status on February 14th. Do you want this 8:30 time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, at 8:30. If Mr. Guerin makes an appearance this morning, his name won't be called, but if we don't see him, his name will be called.
Okay.
All right, that's all you have, Mr. Cavada?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, sir. Have a good
Thank you.
weekend.
You too.
Thanks. I saw Mr. Garcia, yes, and he has Mario Moreno.
Yes,
Who is in the waiting room. All right, Mr. Moreno, can you turn on your camera, please? All right. This is 23-CR-92532-B, State versus Mario Moreno. Good morning, Mr. Garcia.
Good morning, Judge.
What announcement do you have on Mr. Moreno?
Judge, we've been waiting for the state to come back with the blood results since January. I think we've given the state sufficient time to get that. So we would announce ready.
Mr. Sells?
Still waiting, Judge.
All right, we're going to set this for an additional status on February 14th. Mr. Garcia, would you like this 8:30 time?
Yes, Your Honor, that'll be fine.
All right, at 8:30. Mr. Moreno, your next court appearance will be by Zoom as well. Thank you for your appearance this morning. You're free to log off.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you both. Have a good day.
Thank you, Judge.
You too.
Oh, Mr. Moreno, I missed this. He also has 23-CR-92533-B. February 14th. And Mr. Schimmel. Hello, Mr. Schimmel. I haven't seen you in a while.
That's right, Your Honor. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. We do have Mr. Gomez. Let me bring him into the waiting room. Into the courtroom. He's in the waiting room. While he's coming in, I'll call his case 22-CR-90890, State of Texas versus Efren Gomez III. All right, he's in with us. Mr. Schimmel, what is your announcement on this case?
Your Honor, we have an offer from the state. It is an offer for probation. I think that we are likely going to accept that. This case is contemporaneous with that case. It's often the same transaction. I don't think that case will resolve this case, but I'm sure that when we plead the felony case, that we'll plead this one also.
Okay, do you have a date on your felony case or any kind of time frame so I can give you a?
I don't, Your Honor, but if you want to set it, you can give us a setting for a month or two or whatever the court is comfortable with, and we can try to work around that setting.
I saw that Mr. Gomez was a no-show October 18th of 2024.
Yes, there is currently a warrant.
So I can't remember if he no-showed for us or for the felony.
It was a felony.
So is he not here, right? Oh, there he is.
He's in the courtroom.
Okay.
And I've conferred with him. He knows about the warrant. He knows how to deal with that and what we need to do.
I do have a plea date of January 30th. Would that work for you?
It works for me, Your Honor.
All right, January 30th at 9 o'clock for a plea.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Mr. Gomez, your next appearance will be in person in the basement courtroom at the San Patricio County Courthouse in Sinton. It'll be on January 30th at 9 o'clock.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. We'll see you both then. Mr. Schimmel, nice to see you. Y'all have a good weekend.
Yes, ma'am, you as well. Take care, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Madrigal.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, Judge.
All right, you have Michael Patrick Boyd. He is not with us. I don't.
No,
believe.
Judge, he's not with us any longer. He's in federal custody.
Oh, well, there you go. That would
I do
explain.
have contact with his wife. She advised me that he was in federal custody. I told her I would let the court know. I did check the status of his felonies and they're still pending.
Okay.
And Your Honor, I'm trying to find out if those cases are actually the reason that he's in federal custody. I don't know if they were federal, but I'm trying to find that out from the DA's office.
Okay. We're using February 14th for an additional status. Do you want me to push it further than that, or do you think that's that's three months?
I think that's a good date, Judge.
Okay.
Hopefully I can get some information by then.
Okay, all right, February 14th on Michael Patrick Boyd. Let me put his cause numbers on the record. 23-CR-92129-B, 92130-B and 92128-B, and those will be set for an additional status February 14th. Do you want this 8:30 time, Ms. Madrigal?
Yes, Your Honor, that works for me pretty well.
All right, wonderful. We will see you back then.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, have a good weekend.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Judge, can I be excused?
Yes, ma'am, absolutely.
Thank you.
See. That concludes my 8:30 docket. I just zoomed right through that. All right. I will see you all back at 9:30 then. Thank you very much. Sylvia, are you with me?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, I had Kim let Mr. Arredondo into the courtroom. This is 24-CR-93511-B. He's on page 1 of the docket. He was on the 8:30 docket. Mr. Arredondo, if you'll unmute your device, please.
Okay.
All right. And remove your cap. You are in a courtroom,
Oh,
Mr.
I'm sorry.
Arredondo.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Arredondo, you were set for 8:30. Mr. Archibald announced that this case still needs to be on a status docket. So your next Zoom hearing is February 14th at 8:30, and I expect you to
Okay.
be on time.
Yes, ma'am. I forgot about it. I mean, I'm sorry about that, Judge.
Yeah, you can't forget because it's just like court. And
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
doing y'all a favor by not making y'all come to the courthouse
Okay.
for this.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
I expect you to show up by Zoom at 8:30 on February 14th.
Yes, ma'am. I'm
Okay?
sorry.
All
Yes, ma'am.
right,
I'm
very
sorry.
good, sir. Stay in contact with Mr. Archibald or his office, and we'll see you back in February.
All righty, ma'am. Thank you very much,
Okay,
Judge.
you have a good day. Thank you.
You
You're
too
free to
now.
log off.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir. I have some defendants, but no attorneys. Let's see. Miss April Kotash Bailey, Miss Trevino is her attorney. Oh, there's Miss Kellum. Okay, let's bring her in, Kim, Casey Kellum. We do not see Mr. Carr, but we can get Miss Kellum's announcement. All right, the court is calling 22-CR-89608, State of Texas versus David Allen Carr. Good morning, Miss Kellum. You're muted, ma'am.
Thank you. Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. Mr. Carr is not present. I don't see him in the waiting room.
I talked to him and sent him the link so he was aware. I can give him a call real quick.
Well, let's just get your announcement, and then if he shows up, then his name won't be called.
Okay. Judge, my understanding is we're still waiting on the blood results for this matter.
Okay, Mr. Stiles.
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, then we're going to set this for an additional status on February 14th. Do you have a time preference, Ms. Kellum?
The 9:30 worked perfect for me, Judge.
Okay. And we'll set it at 9:30 on February 14th. If you want to log off right now and see if you can contact Mr. Carr, you're free to do that.
I will do that, Judge. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Have a good weekend.
You too.
All right. Mr. Sales, what information do you have on April Kotash Bailey?
What page is she, Your Honor?
She's on page 4 and she has all of page 5. Most of 4 and all of 5.
There's Miss Trevino.
Right. You see her?
She's in the courtroom.
Oh, she's in. Okay, there she is. She's in our courtroom. Okay, so I am calling all of Miss April Kotash Bailey's cases, but I'm not gonna call all those cause numbers.
We're still awaiting the drug results.
Okay. All right, then, Miss Trevino. Let's
Yes,
see,
ma'am.
these are, then we're going to set this for an additional status on February 14th.
Okay.
Do you want this same time
Yes, Your Honor, please.
at 9:30? Okay. Ms. Kotash Bailey, your next appearance will be by Zoom as well. It will be on February 14th at 9:30. Thank you, ma'am. You're free to log off. Have a nice weekend. All right, Ms. Trevino, is that all you have, or do you have?
I have Christopher Day.
Okay, Mr. Day is in the waiting room. We'll bring him in.
And we're still waiting on lab results also.
All right, and this is a 24 case. All
Yes.
right. We will set this on that same date, then let me wait until Mr. Day. He's connecting. Let me put his cause number on the record, 24-CR-93765-B State versus Christopher Day. He's still connecting. So we are going to set this for an additional status on February 14th at 9:30. We're waiting on lab results on that DWI. Okay. Ms. Trevino.
We also have Rodolfo Lozano. We sent him a packet and Mr. Sales got it already.
You sent a packet. I'm sorry, I don't understand.
For clean abstention.
Oh, okay. He's in custody.
He's in prison in San Diego. He was in Edinburgh, and now he's in San Diego prison.
Okay, all right.
And I've signed my part.
Okay, so we're just waiting on that to come back.
It's been received. Mr.
Okay.
Sales has it.
So have you got, well, I guess I didn't check my secretaries to see if we have it. They did not give it back to you.
I signed it before I sent it off. And then a day before yesterday, I think it was, I went ahead and signed the original pages that he had put his fingerprint on. And I brought it in yesterday or day before yesterday and gave it to the secretaries.
Well, yeah, I signed off on it. I guess it's still with us.
Okay. So then it's ready for the judge to sign, to approve.
We'll get it to you
Okay.
this morning, Judge.
Great. All right, so I can, and it says active warrant. We'll need to lift that warrant if he's in. Okay, we'll take care of the paperwork on this end, and that case will be resolved then.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. Let's see, did Mr. Day, was he ever able to?
He's on, Judge.
All right, Mr. Day, if you'll remove your cap, sir, you are in a courtroom. Mr. Day, can you hear me? You can't hear me? Take your cap off. Oh, he's having problems. All right. There you go. All right, Mr. Day, the lab results are still pending, so we're setting you for an additional status on February 14th at 9:30. He's having trouble. Mr. Vian, you're gonna have to let him know because
I'll let
he
him know,
keeps
Your Honor.
going, he keeps connecting and then it shows that he's not connected and. All
I'll let
right.
him know, Your Honor. May I
Okay,
be
Mr. Day, thank you for your appearance this morning. You are free to log off. Ms. Trevino will be in touch with you, sir. Have a good day. Thank you, Ms. Trevino. Have a good weekend.
You too, Your Honor.
All right. Mr.
Mr.
Flores,
Sanchez.
good morning, sir.
Good morning. Mr. Sanchez is here.
Travis Sanchez with Mr. Gilmore's office.
Yes, he's right here.
All right, we don't have Mr. Gilmore. This is 23-CR-93035-B. Mr. Sells, do you have information on, I'm assuming labs?
On Travis J. Sanchez. Awaiting the drug results.
Okay. All right, then, Mr. Sanchez, we are
Yes.
going to set your case for an additional status on February 14th.
Okay.
We're gonna set it at 8:30 though, and not 9:30.
Okay.
Okay, if you wish to appear in person, you're welcome to do that. But if you wish to appear by Zoom, you can appear by Zoom as well and not have to come up to the courthouse.
Okay.
All right, just stay in contact with Mr. Gilmore.
Right.
All right,
Okay.
thank you, sir. If you will go upstairs to the, Kim, are you doing the settings or is the county clerk's office doing the settings?
I will do the settings, Miss Martino, if he just
Okay.
wants to come up here and I'll get it for him.
Thank you, Josie.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Mr. Sanchez, if you'll go to the county clerk's office on the first floor and sign for your setting notice and get your copy, and then you'll be free to leave.
All righty.
Thank you, sir. All right, I see Miss Kellum and Mr. Carr. We'll bring them back in. Mr. Carr,
Yes, ma'am.
I can't see your face, sir. I don't know how you have your device. It's just a bar.
No, I apologize. Hang on. Here it is.
Okay, remove your cap.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank
Yes,
you.
Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Carr, you were set for 9:30 for a status. There was discussion that there's some pending labs. So you're set for an additional status on February 14th at 9:30. Okay, so you will need to log in and be present on the 14th of February at 9:30.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you very much. You're free to log off now. Stay in contact with Miss Kellum in her office.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, have a good weekend.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Miss Kellum. Did I see Mr. Garcia? Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning. Is Mr. Salinas with us? Yes, he is as well. Mr. Salinas, can you turn your camera on, sir? This is 23-CR-91473-B State versus Edward Salinas.
Yes, Judge, we are here. Mr. Garcia for Mr. Salinas.
All right, Mr. Garcia, what have you got on this DWI?
Nothing yet. I think they're still waiting for lab results unless
We're waiting
James
on
has.
labs.
Yes, it's a DWI and still waiting on the labs. So we don't want to do anything with the DWLI until the DWI stuff comes through.
Right, certainly understand that. Mr. Sells, any information on the labs?
He can still get his license on the DWLI, and we're just gonna dismiss it there, but on the
Yeah.
DWI, no, Your Honor, we're still waiting on the lab.
Well, that's true. Is he working on, because what we do, Mr. Garcia, on those driving while license suspended, we just want them to become legal drivers. I think we discussed this last time. So if he's working towards either paying tickets or getting an occupational That's our goal on this end.
Well, it's been a long time. Eddie, do you have it by now? Do you have your license yet?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I do. Your Honor, yes, I do. I have a driver's license.
Okay, if you will, give evidence of that to Mr. Garcia so he can provide that to Mr. Sells, we could at least resolve one case while
Okay,
we're
I
waiting
I
on
can
the
get that-
labs.
Your Honor, I could get that sent to Mr. Garcia. Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
All right.
Very
I'll
good.
dismiss that as soon as I get it from you, bud.
yes.
Okay, James.
Okay,
Well, we got-
so we're going to set this for an additional status then, Mr. Garcia and Mr. Salinas, on February 14th at 9:30.
Great. That sounds good, Judge.
Okay, thank you both. You're free to log off. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, I'll do the same. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Bye. Bye, Eddie.
All right, that is our 9:30 docket. Very good. See y'all back at 10:30. Mr. Gilmore, can you see me? You're muted. There you
Okay.
go. All right, so you had, let's see, find it.
Mr. Sanchez?
Mr. Sanchez did appear. Mr. Sells informed the court that the labs are still pending, I think.
That's
And
correct.
so we set it for an additional status on February 14th at 8:30. If you want to change that time later, you can. And in fact, Mr. Sanchez appeared in person.
Okay.
And so he
All right,
went up
Judge.
to the clerk's office and signed his setting notice and got his copy, but he was here in person.
Okay. Do I have one upstairs, I guess?
Yes, sir,
should.
you do.
Okay. I will go up and get it.
All right, thanks, Mr. Gilmore.
Okay, Judge, have a good weekend.
You too.
You too.
Hey, John,
Yes, Judge.
do you have time to swing by my office real quick?
Sure.
Okay, thanks. We're here to count chairs.
Oh.
So, yeah. Our jury. Okay, we're here for the 10:30 docket. Is Mr. Palacios with us? Yes, Kim, let in Mr. Palacios. He's got quite a few cases. Sebastian Martinez is here. Mr. Palacios, Kim, I don't, what, do you know what's going on? Oh, now I have him twice. He's having trouble joining, I think. There he is. All right, the court is calling cause numbers 22-CR-90985 and 90986. We're on page 7 of the docket. State versus Sebastian Martinez. Mr. Martinez is joining us. He's still connecting. That's fine. And Mr. Palacios is, there he is. Good morning, Mr. Palacios. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
All right, you've got Sebastian Martinez. He is trying to log into it's just, there he is. He's connecting to audio. Okay, so he's got a possession of marijuana and unlawfully carrying a weapon.
Yes, Judge, and I called the district attorney's office. I know, Mr. Joel Thomas, I think, represents him on some other cases, but, I was informed that a manufacturing and delivery case and possession of controlled substance, something group 2, were dismissed at the felony level, and I believe those are related to my misdemeanor cases. So I'm not sure what else he has pending other than 2 other felonies, which Mr. Thomas represents him on. I don't know what he's got at the misdemeanor level, but I believe the ones that were dismissed are my cases. I could only confirm one for sure, the manufactured delivery, but there's 2 controlled substance cases. One was dismissed and one's still pending. But I'm just not sure how you want to proceed with the possession of marijuana and the misdemeanors.
Just to clear things up, the felony or felonies, I'm not sure, that were linked to your 2 misdemeanors have been dismissed. Is that what you just told me?
Yes, Judge. I'm like 98% sure those 2 cases are related to mine. The thing is, he had a manufactured delivery, a possession of controlled substance, a theft of a firearm, and another controlled substance. And I was told one manufacturing delivery case was dismissed, which would be mine, and one controlled substance was dismissed, which I believe is also mine. But they couldn't tell me right off the bat, just by looking at it, whether it was mine or not. So that'll require further investigation. I think it is, Judge, if you want to set us for a pretrial hearing on these 2 cases that we had this morning.
Let's do that. And then if you find at that pretrial you need to go back to felony status, we'll put you back.
Okay.
All right. So pretrial on January 13th at 1:30. Mr. Martinez, your next appearance for these 2 cases will be in person in the basement courtroom, the courthouse in Sinton. On January 13th at 1:30, just stay in contact with Mr. Palacios. We will send out a setting notice. You should get one.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Thank you for your appearance this morning. You're free to log off, Mr. Martinez.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend. All right. I don't see Miss Aparicio, but we can talk. Oh, there she is. Miss Aparicio, you present? You're muted, and if you could turn on your camera, please. This is 22-CR-90806, State versus Amelia Brianna Aparicio.
Yes, sir.
There she
Judge,
is. All right, stop walking.
Sorry, I had to walk away from my on my work.
Okay, all right, here we go. All right, Mr. Palacios.
Yes, Judge, I contacted the district attorney's office. Her case is still pending indictment, which is our cases charges are 2 controlled substance cases related to our misdemeanor. So there's still indictment.
All right, then. Additional felony status on February 14th. Do you want this time 10:30 or do you want a different time?
10:30 has worked every time in the past, Judge. I think 10:30 is fine.
All right, then. February 14th at 10:30. Ms. Aparicio, your next setting will be just like this one. We'll see you on February 14th at 10:30. Please stay in contact with Mr. Palacios.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a good weekend. You're free to log off.
Thank you. You as well.
Ryan Castro, we got return mail on him. So
He's on.
okay, there he is. Mr. Palacios, before I get started with his case, if you can get an updated address from him and either submit that to my office or to the clerk's office so that when we send out setting notices, they don't come back to us. I don't want to do it over Zoom.
Okay.
That would be great. This is 23-CR-91438-B 91439-B State versus Ryan Castro.
Judge, I checked in with the district attorney's office. His felony case is still pending indictment. And I guess would ask for another felony status.
Okay.
He does have a charge of criminal mischief that I thought I had a setting for it, Judge, but you know what? I think it was mailed to me. I don't have it in front of me. I mean, emailed to me.
These are 2 criminal mischief cases. Are you saying he has a third?
Yes, ma'am. He got another charge. He was in court the other day.
Oh, okay. That was a newly filed information then. And did he appear on arraignment, Josie?
Yes, ma'am. Let me get you the date. I think we were going to set him with these if you wanted to. You were going to talk to Mr. Palacios about it.
Okay. If we can get that cause number then, and we'll set all of these, then we'll put them together.
Okay.
Even though it's not tied to the felonies that these are tied to, I think let's just put them all together, be efficient in that sense. Mr. Castro, I'm going to ask that you stop walking. It makes me dizzy. Or not.
You're on mute, Mr. Castro.
Judge, do you want the other case number?
Yes, ma'am, please.
It is 24-CR 94488B.
Okay. And did we give that a date at arraignment, Josie?
Yes, ma'am. We gave him a pretrial of 12:30 and a plea deadline at 2:20.
Okay. So those are going to go away.
Okay.
And we'll set it for felony status as well with these 2 on February 14th.
Okay.
at 10:30. So, Mr. Castro,
Yes, ma'am.
your new court date for all three of your cases will be February 14th at 10:30, and that will be by Zoom.
Can
You
you hear
won't
me now?
have to, I'm sorry.
Can you hear me now, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You do not have to appear on December 30th. You will just appear by Zoom on February 14th on all three of your cases. All right, thank you for
Yes.
your appearance this morning, and you are free to log off.
Thank you, miss.
Have a good weekend.
You too, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Palacios, your last client is Jorge Casanova, 23-CR-91748-B, State versus Jorge Casanova. I don't see.
I
you
know
can-
I'm sorry, Judge. I know my office reached out to him and I believe they got confirmation about informing him of the Zoom ID and what time to log in. I also texted him. I didn't get a response. But I do have a report for the court judge from the DA's office. I was
Okay.
informed his felony charge that was related to this was dismissed. So if we can go ahead and get a pretrial hearing for this matter.
Pre-trial January 13th at 1:30.
Okay.
And if he logs on and shows his face by noon, there will be no warrant issued. So you may want to try to have your office get in touch with him and have him log on.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Palacios, that takes care of all your cases.
Yes, Judge. Thank you. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. Have a good weekend.
Yes, y'all too. Thanks.
Thanks. All right. We have the next case is 22-CR-90328, State versus Iratzi Cepeda Batanzos.
Good morning, Your Honor. Mary Peterzak for my client.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
All right, thank you.
I
What's your
think-
announcement?
Yes, Your Honor. At the last setting, I think the prosecutor indicated that they were going to be dismissing the felony case, and so I think I have confirmed that did occur. And so I know this is our first pretrial setting, and so without the felony case, I think we're just kind of proceeding on the misdemeanor. And so I was unclear about the procedures to acquire the discovery on this case. I think when I was in person, I had made the request, but I wasn't sure, I think, how to move forward with receiving any of that.
Okay. That I think if you just contact Mr. Sells, he'll get you
Okay.
that discovery. This is November, so if I give you a January setting for pretrial, that gives you plenty of time to review the discovery on a POM.
Yes, Your Honor. It's just it's a POM. So
Okay, January 13th at 1:30 would be your pretrial, and then let me look at my calendar real quick. Okay. And then I'm going to give you February 27th will be your plea deadline. That's not a day to appear. It's just a plea deadline. If you don't work this case out on the 13th, then you have until the 27th of February to try to work it out if that's what you want to do. After that, you would be given trial settings.
yes, Your Honor. Thank you. And then the January 13th setting, is that the pretrial setting, is that in person or?
That is in person. The
Okay.
only, once a case like a felony has been dismissed or blood work is available, then we put it for in person. These by Zoom are just status.
Okay, and then if we were to work things out before that January 13th setting, and if we had determined we were going to enter into a plea, would that also be done in person on that January 13th date, or would we need another date for that?
No, it would be done on that date.
Okay. And then if if on that date there's still some discovery issues, is that also like a hearing setting for those discovery issues?
If it's contested, I mean, if you have a contested issue like a suppression, then you need to contact the court and get a setting for like a motion to suppress. Okay. Because on these settings, there's not time to have, a 1 hour hearing, and Mr. Sells is typically conferring and things like that. So I like to put contested hearings. You're by yourself. There's nothing else. We can do it.
No, I understand. And I appreciate that information. I just want to, and then I ask because I want to make sure that I do everything
I understand.
appropriately. So I appreciate that. And then
our office needs your email address.
Yes, I'll send that to you in the chat, Mr. Sales. And then if you could shoot me an email within the next week or so, or today, that way we can work on that. But I think January will be enough time, Your Honor, and I think that we'll probably have some resolution by then.
Okay. Very good. That's all you have this morning. Thank you for your appearance. Thank you, Ms. Batanzos, for your appearance as well. You're free to log off. Your next appearance will be in person on January 13th at the courthouse in the basement courtroom in Sinton. Be sure and stay in contact with your attorney.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, yeah.
Weekend. Thank you.
You too. Okay. I don't see, let's see, Joel Thomas is the only attorney I see in the, there's Mr. Jimenez. I didn't know Mr. Jimenez had joined us. All right. Then we have 23-CR-91298-B and 92774-B, State versus Gregorio Soto.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Jimenez. How are you, sir?
Good.
Let's see. I don't believe Mr. Soto is with us. No, he is not. Okay. What is your announcement on his two cases?
Judge, we're scheduled for a bond status hearing. He was able to make bond. I've requested discovery. I have not received discovery. I'd ask for a pretrial and trial setting, Judge. I think if I get one more pretrial, we'll be able to work these cases out.
Okay. How about January 13th?
That'll be fine, Your Honor.
All right, pretrial January 13th at 1:30. If you can reach Mr. Soto and if he logs in before noon today, his name will not be called. If we don't see him, then just like in regular court, we will.
I'll look for him. I did talk to him yesterday, and he was supposed to have been logged in. He might be having technical difficulties or something.
And if he is, then just have him call my office and tell them that.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
I don't have Mr. Soto on my docket. What's his first name?
Gregorio.
Okay.
Do you have those cause numbers, Mr. Sells?
No, ma'am. I can do it that way. Thank you. I'll get with our secretaries about the discovery, Mr. Jimenez.
Thank you, James.
You bet. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Jimenez. You are free to log off. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Hi, Joel.
Morning, Judge.
How are you?
It's Friday. It's a good
That's-
thing.
Yes, it is. Mr. Martinez was logged on earlier with Mr. Palacios, and I didn't even look to see that.
Yes.
I should have had him stay on. I excused him, so that's my fault.
Not a problem. It's the same announcement. I talked to Andy this morning about the case.
Okay, so let's see. Let me find his. I don't even remember now. I mean, we just did it, but
Some of the felonies were gonna not be for sure, but there's still a few pending,
okay.
and they have not been indicted. I need to check, but I think we're getting pretty close to statute of limitations on some of that stuff.
All right, then you're wanting another status setting then, correct?
Please.
Okay. February 14th. Do you want this time of 10:30?
Is that another Friday?
Yes, sir.
That's fine. Thank you.
Okay. All right. I'm not gonna call
February
all his
Yeah.
all
There are a
his
lot.
cause numbers. We'll just set his cases that are with you because he's in person on the 13th of January with Mr. Palacios.
I'll put that down as well.
Okay. Do you want these in person as well, or just?
I like the Zoom for
Okay.
for this kind of hearing.
All right. February 14th at 10:30.
And you said he had court January 13th?
Yes, at 1:30.
Okay.
That's on Mr. Palacios' cases. I think there are 2 of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Very good. Have a good weekend.
Thanks. You as well.
Bye.
All right. All right. That is it with our 10:30 docket. We're almost done. One more. I will see you all at 11:30 with Mr. DeFreitas, Ms. Eastwood, Mr. Salias. Okay, very good. Thank you. Mr. Sells, can you hear me? You may have stepped out. Mr. Scott, this is 22-CR-89638. You were set at 8:30 this morning. Mr. Archibald announced that you still have a case pending, so we set you for an additional status on February 14th at 8:30. You will be
Yes.
expected to log on and make an appearance at 8:30 on February 14th.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I have you marked now as being present. Please be present at the correct time on the 14th of February.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend.
You
All
too.
right, so Mr. Sells, Mr. Scott made an appearance, and now we're going to bring in Mr. Casanova.
I'm okay to leave, Judge.
You are, you may log off. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Oh, and then we're gonna do Mr. Stolly's plea. Is that what we're gonna do?
Correct, Your Honor. It's been signed by the state, myself, my client. It just needs to be sworn by the clerk and we'll be ready. He's here in the
Okay.
courtroom too.
Okay, oh, Josie,
Probably need to go.
Kim, or if, Kim, can you call Josie if she's not on and ask her if she can come down? We have a person who is in custody, if she could come down and swear them so we can do that plea. I'm assuming you're saying yes. I know you can't talk to me right now. All right, on page 8 of the docket, I have Jorge Casanova. That's Mr. Palacios' client. Mr. Casanova, you were set to appear at 10:30. Mr. Palacios asked for a pretrial setting so your next setting will be in person in the basement courtroom, San Patricio County Courthouse on January 13th at 1:30. We will send out a setting notice to you. Just be sure and stay in contact with Mr. Palacios. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Be on time.
I know. I have just got new Wi-Fi and I could not connect to save my life.
All right. Well,
Okay.
that happens. Sometimes there are technical difficulties with this. So January 13th at 1:30 in person.
Okay. Yes,
All
ma'am.
right. You're free to log off. Thank you for appearing. Have a good weekend.
Yes, ma'am. You as well. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Bye. Okay, that takes care of the folks that were not here at the appropriate time. Mr. Sells, I am going to go into the courtroom. You're free to stay in your office. I'm going to go down to the courtroom to do this, please.
Yes, ma'am. I'll be here.
Okay.
Wherever you need me.
Do you want me to go down there, Judge? She left.
Sylvia, no,
Yeah.
you don't have to do that. You can record it from your office.
Okay. Do you have the
If you-
clock numbers?
Yes, no, I don't. I'll give them to you when I get to Mr. Stolly has them.
I do. It's Albert Tito, Tito Ramos, Ramos, cause number 23 CR 92593B.
Thank you.
Yes. It is on.
Are you?
Can you hear us, Mr. Sales?
Yes,
Yes, he.
See, there's gonna be feedback. But she can hear you.
I can turn mine off.
If y'all are talking, I cannot hear you.
We're just talking about you. Don't worry.
Okay.
I don't wanna. Don't want to crowd the bench or chair.
I tell you what.
Go ahead.
Sylvia, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, y'all won't see me because of the feedback stuff. Yes, we're just gonna use the computer so that you can see Mr. Stolley and Mr. Ramos.
Okay.
We're good then. The court is calling cause number 23-CR-92593-B, State of Texas versus Albert Tito Ramos. Good morning, Mr. Ramos. You'll raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. You can put your hand down. Is your name Albert Tito Ramos?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same person who is charged with driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor in this cause?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Ramos, are you aware that the range of punishment for a Class B misdemeanor is up to 180 days in the county jail and/or a fine not to exceed $2,000?
Yes, ma'am.
It's my understanding that you and Mr. Stolley have worked out a plea bargain agreement with the state. I'm going to ask you some questions about that agreement and about the paperwork that you've signed today. The first document I have is a certificate of discovery and waiver of discovery. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, ma'am.
And is this your signature?
Yes, ma'am.
Did Mr. Stolley explain to you what's contained in this document?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you sign it freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
The next document is the waivers, stipulations, applications, and agreements. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And is this your signature?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you and Mr. Stolley go over everything that's contained in this document?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand it all?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you sign it freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
What this document tells me is that in exchange for a plea of either guilty or no contest, the state agrees to recommend that you be sentenced to 30 days confinement in the San Patricio County Jail with credit for 41 days. That there be a fine assessed in the amount of $500 as well as court costs. Is that your understanding of the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Ramos, are you aware that even if you believe yourself to be guilty of this offense, you have an absolute right to enter a plea of not guilty and to ask for a jury trial? But by entering into this plea bargain agreement, you are waiving or giving up your right to a jury trial.
Yes, ma'am.
This document tells me you went through the 8th grade in school and that you can read, write, and understand the English language. Is that correct?
Your Honor, just to make the record, he is a semi-literate, and I did read to him the documents that he has signed.
So you struggle to read, but Mr. Stolley
Yes, ma'am.
took care of that for you.
Yes, ma'am.
And you do understand all the documents that you've
Yes, ma'am.
been presented with today.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, very good. Mr. Ramos, have you ever been treated for any kind of mental illness?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand what's going on here today?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Stolley, do you have an opinion as to your client's competency?
Yes, Your Honor, it's consistent with my opinion upstairs in the finding by Judge Flanagan that he is competent to stand trial, and he's been able to assist me in the defense of his case.
I will join you and Judge Flanagan in your assessment of Mr. Ramos. Mr. Ramos, are you aware that in signing this, you have stipulated to the evidence in your case? Essentially, you have confessed and you are agreeing that the facts as they are stated in this attached offense report are true and correct, and with a plea of either guilty or no contest and the stipulation of evidence, this court can find you guilty of the offense and assess punishment. Are you aware of that?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not part of the plea bargain agreement and I'm not required to follow it. However, if I do follow the plea bargain agreement, you will have no right to appeal my decision. Knowing all of these things, do you still wish to move forward today with your plea?
Yes, ma'am.
To the offense of driving while intoxicated, alleged to have been committed on or about August 2nd, 2023, how do you plead, guilty or no contest?
Guilty.
Based on your plea of guilty and the stipulation of evidence, I am finding you guilty of the offense. I'm assessing punishment at 30 days confinement in the San Patricio County Jail with credit for 41 days. I'm assessing a fine in the amount of $500 as well as court costs in the amount of $320. Your fine and your court costs will run concurrently with your time, meaning you won't owe that money. Your time will eat up that money. Concerning the super fine that the state's now requiring, I am assessing the $3,000 fine. Mr. Stolley, is Mr. Ramos, is he going to remain in custody?
Yes, Your Honor, he has been sentenced to TDCJ with the companion evading arrest that arose out of the same transaction as this case. And he has been sentenced this morning by Judge Flanagan to 6 years institutional vision, Texas Department of Criminal Justice.
Based on that information, then I am waiving the $3,000 fine. I am going to find Mr. Ramos that you are indigent and unable to pay that fine.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes. Because I did follow the plea bargain agreement, I'm certifying that you have no right to appeal my decision. Mr. Ramos, do you have any questions about what we have done here today?
No, ma'am.
All right, sir. Then in a moment, Mr. Flores will get your thumbprint on this paperwork and then you'll be taken back to the jail. I wish you the best of luck.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes,
God bless you.
Thank you, Judge, for accommodating us and taking Mr. Ramos's plea.
You're welcome, Mr. Stolley.
Have a good weekend.
Thank you. You
May I
too.
be excused?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks,
Thank
Sylvia. Thank you, Mr. Sells.
How do you mute it?
It's muted. You're muted.
All right, Kim, we're getting close. I see Mr. Salias is here and his client, Mr. Aranda. So we'll start with that because he's the only attorney I see in the waiting.
I'm an attorney.
Mr. Sells. But
Hi,
you're not
Judge.
in the waiting room. I said in the waiting room.
Ah, good point. Yes. Well
You're
done.
not in the waiting room.
Well done.
You are an attorney, yes. But I was just looking in the waiting room. You were already in the courtroom.
Oh, yes. Early
Okay.
as usual.
All right, very good. Yes. All right, the court is calling cause numbers 22-CR-90019 and 24-CR-93449-B. State of Texas versus Richard Aranda. Mr. Aranda, if you'll turn on your camera, please.
He's got 3, Judge.
Oh, he has 3. I missed one.
Judge, I'm here, but my video is having issues.
That's okay. I know
Um,
I know you're here. 22-CR-90018 as well. All right, Mr. Salias.
Your Honor, we have sentencing with Mr. Aranda's felony case on the 22nd of this month.
Okay.
If the court would set me afterwards, and I could resolve these misdemeanors afterwards, Your Honor.
Okay. I don't think I have any dates in December, but I've been using January 13th at 1:30.
Yes, Your Honor, that's perfectly fine.
All right, then. These 3 cases are set. I'm gonna put pretrial. Pretrial on January 13th at 1:30. Mr. Aranda, that will be in person in the basement courtroom in the San Patricio County Courthouse in Sinton, January 13th at 1:30. Be sure and stay in contact with Mr. Salias. All right, thank you, sir. You're free to log off. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Salias. Okay. Miss Eastwood is with us. Our cases begin on page 11 of the docket. Defendant, it's loading on my end. Okay, and who, oh, Mr. Arguelles? Yes, ma'am. Okay. All right, then I will call that case. Good morning, Miss Eastwood. I have 23-CR-91388-B State versus Victor Arguelles.
Yes, Your Honor. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say my notes say dismissal pending signature.
That is correct, Your Honor. I was told that yesterday for both counts of his felony.
Of his, both counts of his
felony.
Okay, so the dismissal is,
I filed a dismissal of the misdemeanor for the same reason the felony.
oh, okay. Okay, so this, all right.
Cool.
I did sign a dismissal this morning. I don't know if it was this one or a different one, but we'll make sure that dismissal gets signed then. Once it's
Okay.
signed, y'all will be, of course, free to get a copy of that. So, Mr. Arguelles, that concludes your matter in this court. You won't have to make any more appearances. You are free to log off, sir.
That is the dismissal that I got.
Oh, okay, so it has been signed. Thank you,
Yes, ma'am.
Josie. All right, very good. It's been signed. All right, Miss Eastwood. You also have, is it Neilana Gonzalez? We're gonna let her in.
Yes, Your Honor. The felony case for endangering a child is still pending, but it has been received into the DA's office.
Okay, so this is cause number 24-CR-93939-B, State versus Nia. Do you know how to pronounce that first name? Neilana Gonzalez. I will
Yes, Your Honor.
set this for an additional felony status on February 14th at 11:30.
For Valentine's Day. Okay. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Not an official holiday in my heart.
Right.
Okay.
Well, it's my least favorite holiday anyway. So okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
February 15th, when the candy is 50% off, is more favorable to me. All right,
Yes.
so Miss Gonzalez, can you turn on your camera, please? There you go. Your next court setting will be just as this one by Zoom on February 14th at 11:30. Please stay in contact with Miss Eastwood. Thank you, ma'am. You're free to log off. Have a good weekend. All right. Let's see. Renee Gonzalez is in the waiting room. We'll bring him in. This is cause numbers 20-CR-86161 and 23-CR-92466-B, State versus Renee Gonzalez Sr.
The DA's office yesterday said two of his felonies from 2022 and 2023 were dismissed, but he still has a felony that's pending that has not yet been indicted.
Okay, and on the DWI, is that one, we're not waiting on, I mean, that's a 20 case. I'm assuming we're not waiting on labs or anything else.
It's an MTR, I believe, Judge.
Oh, that's an MTR? Oh, okay, so we're just waiting to see what happens with the underlying offenses in the MTR or the new allegations in the MTR. Okay. All right, so February 14th then for status. At 11:30. I'll be right back.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Gonzalez, can you turn your camera on, sir?
Okay, I'm trying to turn my camera on.
You having trouble?
Hold on. I think, hold on.
All right. Your next court date is by Zoom as well. It will be on February 14th at 11:30. Please stay in contact with Miss Eastwood, and then Miss Hebert, does he need to report to probation?
Yes. Oh, where's my camera?
It's okay.
Yes, ma'am. If he can come over and check in.
When? He's not, you realize this is by Zoom. He's not here.
My mistake.
So does he have a probation date or?
It does not look like he has a scheduled appointment right now. I will have Officer Jackson reach out to him and give him an appointment by the end of today.
Okay, very good.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Gonzalez, you're free to log off. You should be hearing from probation.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Have a good day. All right, we have, I don't see Danielle Romero, but let me just go on and call her number, her cause number 23-CR-92983-B, State versus Danielle Romero. Ms. Eastwood?
Yes, I called yesterday and her possession of a controlled substance case from 2023 has not yet been indicted, but they do have the case. And then they have another dismissal from July 2024.
Okay, so we're going to give this the same status date then of February 14th at 11:30. If she appears or calls in, we won't have her name called. She does need to make an appearance. Then we have Miss Cepeda is in the waiting room. We'll bring her in. And that is 23-CR-92426-B State versus Aubrey Nicole Cepeda.
Her possession case was dismissed on August 21st. I learned yesterday.
Okay, so she needs a pretrial setting.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we're going to set this for pretrial on January 13th at 1:30. Ms. Cepeda, that will be in person, January 13th at 1:30. We will send a setting notice to you. Be sure and stay in contact with Ms. Eastwood. You are free to log off. Thank you. Have a good weekend. You're muted. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yes, ma'am. I'm sorry, I didn't catch the first part of what you ladies were saying. May I catch that again?
Yes, if you'll stop moving, stand still. Thank you. Ms. Eastwood informed the court that your felony case had been dismissed. Is that correct, Ms. Eastwood? That your felony case had been dismissed. And so we're setting this misdemeanor for an in-person pretrial on January 13th at 1:30.
Yes, ma'am.
And we will send a setting notice to you.
May I ask like what pretrial is? Like I've never been through.
That is a conversation for you to have with Miss Eastwood, not in court.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
That's a good question, but it's just not appropriate at this time.
Okay, understood. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, Your Honor.
You're welcome. You are free to log off.
Judge,
Who said that?
Josie.
Yes, ma'am.
I accidentally didn't group Renee Gonzalez. He had 3 cases. I accidentally separated them on accident.
Okay.
He's right under Miss Cepeda.
Okay. Is he somewhere else on the docket as well?
Yes, ma'am. He was on page 11. Sorry about that.
Oh, okay. We already took care of him.
Yes, ma'am. I'm just letting you know I didn't group.
Oh, okay.
3 cases?
Okay,
Yes.
so the third case is 20-CR-86160, and that one will be set with the other 2 cases for status on February 14th at 11:30. Okay, thank you, Josie.
Thank you. And may I be excused, Your Honor? The 117th is waiting for me upstairs.
Okay, you have Brianna Tijerina. You have
Oh,
one more.
I apologize. Yes. How did I miss that? Yes, her case is still pending.
Okay, felony status, February 14th at 11:30. She has not appeared, so her name will be called unless we hear from her today. And you may be excused. Have a good weekend.
Thank you very much. I know the weather is just beautiful.
Judge.
It is.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Sorry, Eileen. Eileen just let me know about Miss Tejerina that she was in jail but taken to a mental hospital at the moment.
Oh, okay. All right, then her name will not be called.
Which one is this, Miss Tijerina?
She's in a mental hospital, mental health facility. So maybe, I don't know if Eileen has more information. We don't want to talk about that over this, but when you're finished, maybe this afternoon, you give Eileen a call and see if she has any further information if you need to know where she is or something like that.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. I saw Mr. DeFreitas. Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Let me get to your page on the docket. Mr. DeFreitas, we're going to start with Stephanie Lapp. That is
Yes.
cause number 24-CR-94131-B. This is page 10 of the docket.
Yes, Your Honor. We had pre-trial, we have announcement. Let me take a look. It's coming up, I believe, this month.
Miss Lapp has a jury trial set of December 2nd.
Yeah.
On a felony.
December 2nd.
That's what I show.
Okay. All right, then.
I mean, that would be our first setting. I think it's unlikely that it's gonna go, so I'd ask for something sort of after the holidays.
All right, then we'll set you for felony status on February 14th. You want the 11:30 time?
Yes, Your Honor.
At 11:30. Miss Lapp? You're muted and you don't have your camera on. There we go. Your next appearance for this case will be by Zoom as well on February 14th at 11:30. Please stay in contact with Mr. DeFreitas. Thank you for your appearance this morning. You are free to log off. Let's see, Doug. I don't see your other clients, but I'm going to call their cases. I have 24-CR-93547-B State versus Jessica Martinez.
They're both incarcerated, Your Honor.
It may be, I have the jail. Who do they have over there? Oh, my docket says jail. I just missed it.
Miss Martinez has an arson case. It's one of those swirly, like set a trash can on fire sort of arsons. I may have some, I may be able to talk to somebody at felony intake and see what's going on with that case.
Okay. All right. So for Miss Martinez, then I'm going to put it on that felony status date of February 14th. But of course, she is in custody. And if you find that you want an in-person, we'll give you a sooner in-person date.
Yes, Your Honor.
February 14th at 11:30 for Miss Jessica Martinez. And then you have 24-CR-94005-B State versus Robert Stephen Williams.
Yes, Your Honor. He's set for pre-trial next week, I think. We have a jury trial date of December 16th. So I'd ask for probably that February date also, unless there's one in between. But I think that Valentine's Day date is probably the safest bet.
Okay, felony status, February 14th at 11:30. Of course, if you want an in-person sooner, just let us know.
I will, Judge. Thank you. I believe
Okay.
that's all I have.
It is. Thank you, Mr. DeFreitas. Have a good weekend.
You too.
I've got two people. I've got an Ezra Guetta is Mr. Zapatas. He is in the waiting room. Gregorio Soto was from earlier this morning. Let me find him. Oh, he called earlier, right? Kim,
Yes, ma'am.
any word from Mr. Zapata?
No, ma'am, not at all.
Mr.
All right.
Soto's on page 8.
Thank you, Josie. Mr. Soto? Mr. Soto? Hi, Mr. Soto. Will you remove your cap, please? You are in a courtroom. You probably can't hear me. Take your ball cap off. Can you hear me, Mr. Soto? No? All right. Kim, will you just message him what his court date is?
Yes, ma'am.
I think he called and I think Eileen spoke with him, but let's just message him and tell him he's free to log off.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Kim. I don't have Mr. Zapata, but Mr. Sales, I have 23-CR-92649-B State versus Miguel Santiago. Do you have information on that case?
There was a positive return on the drugs for cannabinoids, but that has been sent to another lab for confirmation.
Okay, so we're still waiting on.
Yes.
Okay, I have a message here that Mr. Zapata is in jury trial in Aransas County. Okay, so we need to set Mr. Santiago for an additional status then. February 14th at 11:30. Then let's bring Mr. Guetta in. Ezra Guetta. All right, Mr. Guetta, this is cause number 24-CR-94170-A and 94171-B State versus Ezra Guetta. Mr. Zapata is in trial right now in Aransas County, so he is not present. But Mr. Sells is going to tell us the status of your cases.
Okay. Your Honor, Mr. Guerra still has an unindicted felony, possessed of controlled substance.
Okay, then Mr. Guetta, we're gonna set you for an additional status by Zoom. That will be on February 14th at 11:30. We will send you and Mr. Zapata a setting notice. Just be sure and stay in contact with Mr. Zapata, okay?
Okay.
All right, that concludes your cases. You are free to log off. Thank you for your appearance this morning.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you.
All right, that takes care of our docket. We've got a few names, Mr. Sells, not many. Mr. Guerin is Mr. Cavada's client. His name needs to be called. He's on page 2. David Carr on. I thought he came back with Miss Kellum, didn't he? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
He did. I need to mark that. Okay. I have Danielle Romero on page 11, Miss Eastwood's client. And that's it, just those two.
when their names are called, and if there's no answer, I would move for an ADSKPS bond forfeiture judgment, I say.
It will be granted. Thank you, Mr. Stells. Have a good weekend.
You too, Judge.
Thanks.
See you Monday morning.
See you Monday morning in my courtroom, and I think we're gonna try to pick the jury in there as well.
Oh,
Little
wow.
curveball.
Okay.
Yeah.
Super.
Eileen working on a seating chart right now. I think we can comfortably seat 50, 5 rows of 10. Yes.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Right. Wonderful.
All right. We'll see you
then.
Monday.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Thank you all. You are excused. I appreciate your patience.